Well, welcome to another exciting episode of Social Packs with me, Gabo. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a jam-packed episode for you. Now, let's start with the serious things, right? I think some of you might have seen that yesterday we had finally, sorry about that, finally, we had the budget speech. Hmm. Much anticipated in, I don't know, in some political spheres and some people who are working in government, I suppose, and also some ordinary citizens too. But here's my take about it. I thought we agreed as a nation that we are not going to increase that VAT. So now I'm asking myself, what happened? What did we agree upon? You know what I mean? And I'm saying this because we understood very well last week, and I think numerous people said it on social media, on the media, wherever, even in our conversation, in wherever, in our small corners and everything, that we cannot afford a VAT increase, right? And obviously, yes, I understand that perhaps the minister has a job to uphold to get money somewhere so that certain things and certain services that we need that needs to be done in South Africa, he needs to fund them somehow, somewhere. Fine, okay, that I understand. But here's my say, right? Remember, like few months back when we were, building up towards the elections, I think sometime last year, right? And you had political parties, some were saying that, listen, more importantly, mostly the opposition parties, they were saying, listen, we do not want this bloated government. It needs to be trimmed down. There's too many ministers. There's too many DDGs. There's too many, what is this, deputy ministers and so forth. Now, the interesting part is that now, since some of them are part of this GNU, right, this collaboration, um, they're no longer singing the same tune. Now it's like we left all alone outside to say, but guys, didn't we talk about this? What's happening? Because I can tell you for one, I heard some of the comments and remarks of some of the opposition parties and opposition members that are part of the GNU now. They were not singing that tune that, this government needs to be trimmed and all those other things. Because, hi, look, well, some of them are now ministers in this very same government. Now, it got me thinking that are these people really representing us as South Africans, or is it just about self-interest? Look, it's a topic for another day, but let's divert, like let's rather, delve into this, the impact of this VAT increase, right? Just a little bit. Let's make it simple, basic, right? Now, you're living in a country that has unemployment that is sitting at 31.9%, right? According to the fourth quarter of 2024, right? Which means the last quarter of last year. And youth unemployment that is sitting at 59.6%. That is almost 60%, right? Now, you are saying, by virtue of that, you're saying 60% of your young people in your country are not working, meaning they don't have an income. I know some of them are relying on the SRD grant and so forth, but how many of those are you giving that grant, and how much is it, and how much of an impact is it doing to their daily living, right? And then, meaning that your 31% that is like rounded off to 32% people that are unemployed in South Africa have to come to the reality of another VAT increase, right? And I heard that the minister, or rather the Department of Finance and Treasury, said that they are adding more zero VAT food on the zero rated food items and so forth. But how many people in South Africa actually go to a supermarket or to a grocery store and actually are well informed about this zero rated food and so forth? Because ultimately, here's the truth and here's the reality of the life that we're living, right? For you to get to a supermarket, you need to pay for a taxi fare. And that taxi fare that you are paying, look, there's VAT in it, because that person needs to pour petrol in that taxi for you to get to your destination and then take it back home. right? Amongst others, minor costs that perhaps one might not see it as major, but they have a certain impact into our lives. Now, let's talk about youth unemployment just a little bit, right? Now, here's the reality. If you look at the stats of like a huge number of criminal offenders, rather, offenders and so forth, are young people, right? In this current economy, if you look at the type of crimes that most of them are committing, some of them it's petty crimes, some of them it's theft and all those other things, right? Now, and I'm not condoning crime whatsoever, let that be known, but what are you saying? How should these people sustain themselves? How should they make a living for themselves? Because listen, your government, unfortunately, hasn't been coming up with policies that are conducive for the growth of this economy, right? That not creating jobs. Instead, you have a massive, massive problem of malfeasancy and corruption from national to local, right? And where mostly in local where a whole lot of people are based at. How are you dealing with such problems instead of coming to us and asking for more money, right, to support the government that cannot close the loopholes that are actually creating this problem, losing money unnecessarily? I feel personally, we also, just as we have an opening of parliament, and also we have a budget speech at the beginning of almost every year, or rather administration, whatever the case may be, or whatever term. How about we have a closing speech also that simply reports back to the republic to say this is what has been done, right, and this is what we have achieved with the monies that you have entrusted in us, and this is where we have fallen short, so that we can hold people accountable. This notion of people just spending taxpayers money, and with a bloated government with so many security detail, like some of them, it's just outrageous. I know a few years back, I used to live in Pretoria, Sunnyside. And almost on a daily basis, you will see this motorcade going to the union buildings. And obviously, it causes a certain level of interruptions, by the way, because traffic will have to be closed off so that this 8 or 9, 10 cars that is transporting 1 or 2 people can travel smoothly until their destination, which is the union building. Hey, but it's the South Africa that we live in. Listen, so on a lighter note, I wanted us actually to talk about this. Dating apps. How many of you are still using dating apps? And do you still find them effective? Are they still serving the purpose that they are serving? I'm asking you this because a couple of days ago, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. Hmm. And it was so interesting. While we were busy having this conversation, he was telling me that he's on one of the biggest dating apps in South Africa, I think globally also. And as he was conversing with this person, planning to meet up, I think they were in Joburg, planning to meet up for, drinks, and maybe, and I like this, and then we will take it from there. Normally when someone says we will take it from there, or one thing will lead to another, you know what that means, right? So, sharp, they are getting to know each other. They are planning to meet up to get to know each other, right? And already here are the top 5 questions that one of them asked. I'm assuming it's him or the other one. One of them asks the other one, "What do you do for a living?" One, do you have a car? Do you have your own property? Like, do you stay alone? Okay. Do you have any kids? Huh, interesting. What are your plans? You know what I mean? And I found it so interesting that we have become those people, right? And I mean, look, not in a bad way. I think most of us want to live a comfortable life, and we want a partner who's self sufficient. Well, not all of us, but hey, needless to say. But does that count as what is this, as a barometer of some sort of what type of a person is suitable for you? What do you go for? Like on these dating apps, and I would like to find out from you, what are your deal breakers? That excludes financial stability of a person, but what are those things that you naturally go for? And I'm asking this because I feel sometimes we miss out on good relationships because we prioritize, or rather, we put things that need to come, yes, that are part of the list, but not should that shouldn't be, at the beginning of the list. We prioritize them, we put them first. Yeah, but look, it's a topic that I want us to have, and you tell me what you think about it. Because listen, interesting enough, I've also heard about this, right? These running clubs. My goodness, a whole lot of people from your TikTok, your ex, formerly known Twitter, Facebook, have been dropping some, mini yana information, about these running clubs that some of them are part of. And apparently they have become some sort of a hookup type of a club, and here was I thinking to myself, a few months back, I was actually on a process of approaching this good friend of mine who loves hiking, by the way, to say, friend, why don't you start a hiking club? Do I still feel the same about it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But interesting that we always find a way, ne? We always find a way to find something that can bring us together, and after bringing us together, hopefully bring two people together, or do whatever that we want to do. Hey, so I want to know, are you part of any into running club or any hiking club? And what are you guys up to except running, ne, and taking beautiful content, by the way? What else are you guys doing? Are you doing what these people have been saying, or what a whole lot of people have been saying rather, on your social media platforms? Do you really enjoy, these things, or are you just doing it because it's become the latest trend or the coolest thing to do now, right? You're still tuned on to Social Packs, by the way. Um, Look, I think I've given you a mouthful to talk about this weekend, right? And for those people who are going out this weekend, look, I've been curious about this for quite some time. What are the reasons? Like, what is it that draws you to a specific place? What is it that draws you to a specific venue? Is it the music? Is it the vibe generally? Is it the aesthetic, perhaps? Is it the food, or is it the alcohol prices? What actually draws you to a specific venue? Do you go simply there because your friends are saying, "Hey guys, listen, this weekend let's rock at this particular place"? Or perhaps you are one of those people who goes out when there's a massive celebrity that you're a fan of, or you just do it traditionally because, look, you don't want to spend time at home. I know that there are some of those people who just to choose not to stay in those four walls, but just to go out and see people, breathe a little bit, because, man, the work that we do can be so hectic at times, and you just want to spend time with people who are just nonchalant about that many hectic things and all those other things. And also, I want to also talk to my 90s 80s generation. Can your body take can it still take, rather, second locations? Can you still go to second locations and then wake up the next day feeling normal, like you're still at, in your early 20s? Or is it just one of those times where, man, you can't do second locations anymore? Or the days that you choose to do second location, you know that you're going to have a fight of your life with your body. Because listen, I've realized that about myself, that oftentimes when I do these second locations, it takes me 2 to 3 days to recover. I don't know whether is it an aging thing, or perhaps, yeah, I hope it's not an aging thing. So I want to hear from you, my 90s and 80s. How does it feel? after doing those? And do you still do those second locations? Can your body take it? And if it can, if it still can you kindly advise us? What is it that you're doing? What is your diet plan? You know? Yeah, man. Shoo, I think we've had some of the most interesting week ever. I've also, on another front, I've been picking up on social media the separation of a popular music group, Mrumba Page, right? I saw an announcement a few days ago that they are no longer together. They've separated. But now, here's an interesting thing. I fail to believe that I'm the only one who never thought that Mrumba Pitch is two people. I always thought it was one person. I don't think I'm the only person who thought that. Maybe if you are one of the people who knew from the inception of the group that it's more than one person, let us know. Why don't you guys share this information with us? Because I always thought that the guy who's always leading the vocalist is Mrumba Page. But yeah, man, it's sad news. Those guys have been making some good music, but there's a trend, man, of a whole lot of groups that are separating. And yeah, I know quite a few that I can mention that has separated. And man, I look, I think you and I would know that most of them after separation, their music no longer slaps the same, And I always wonder why. Is it because we are starting to grow apart, or maybe have different dreams and aspirations in the music industry or entertainment industry? Whatever the case may be, share with us. Let us know what you think about it. What could possibly be the reason for some of us for this amazing episode of Social Packs? We really enjoy your company. We enjoy your opinions. We enjoy your comments. And don't forget to subscribe on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. But my goodness, have a lovely Friday and have an amazing time. Social Packs.